Hi, it's Bruce Braden. I want to finish up the John Adams letter to Thomas Jefferson, June 28, 1812, from my book, Ye Will Say I Am No Christian, the Thomas Jefferson John Adams Correspondence on Religion, Morals, and Values. This Logos of Plato seems to resemble, if it was not the prototype of, the ratio and its progress of Menelaus, the astrologer, of the progress of the mind of Condorcet, and the age of reason of Tom Paine. I could make a system too. The 700,000 soldiers of Zingis, which is John Adams' way of saying Genghis Khan, when the whole or any part of them went to battle, they sent up a howl which resembled nothing that human imagination has conceived, unless it is to be the supposition that all the devils in hell were let loose at once to set up an infernal scream, which terrified their enemies and never failed to obtain them victory. The Indian yell resembled this, and therefore America was peopled from Asia. Another system, the enemies or the armies of Zingis, sometimes 200,000 or 300,000 or 400,000 of them, surrounded a province in a circle and marched towards the center, driving all the wild beasts before them, lions, tigers, wolves, bears, and every living thing, terrifying them with their howls and yells, their drums, trumpets, etc., till they terrified and tamed enough of them to victual the whole army. Therefore, the Scotch Highlanders, who practice the same thing in miniature, are immigrants from Asia. Therefore, the American Indians, who for anything I know practice the same custom, are emigrants from Asia or Scotland. I am weary of contemplating nations from the lowest and most beastly degradations of human life to the highest refinement of civilization. I am weary of philosophers, theologians, politicians, and historians. They are an immense mass of absurdities, vices, and lies. Montesquieu had sense enough to say in jest that all our knowledge might be comprehended in 12 pages in duodecimo, and I believe him in earnest. I could express my faith in shorter terms. He who loves the workman and his work, and does what he can to preserve and improve it, shall be accepted of him. I have also felt an interest in the Indians and a commiseration for them from my childhood. Aaron Palmham, the priest, and Moses Palmham, the king of the Punkapaug and the Ponset tribes, were frequent visitors at my father's house at least 70 years ago. I have a distinct remembrance of their forms and figures. They were very aged, and tallest and stoutest Indians I've ever seen. The titles of king and priest and the names of Moses and Aaron were given them, no doubt, by our Massachusetts divines and statesmen. There was a numerous family in this town whose wigwam was within a mile of this house. This family was frequently at my father's house, and I, in my boyish rambles, used to call at their wigwam, where I never failed to be treated with whortleberries, blackberries, strawberries, or apples, plums, peaches, etc. For they had planted a variety of fruit trees about them. But the girls went out to service and the boys to sea, till not a soul was left. We scarcely see an Indian in a year. I remember the time when Indian murder, scalpings, depredations, and conflagrations were as frequent on the eastern and northern frontier of Massachusetts as they are now in Indiana, and spread as much terror. But since the conquest of Canada, all has ceased, and I believe with you that another conquest of Canada will quiet the Indians forever and be as great a blessing to them as to us. The instance of Aaron Palmham made me suspect that there was an order of priesthood among them, but according to your account, the worship of the Good Spirit was performed by the kings, sachems, and warriors, as among the ancient Germans, whose highest rank of nobility were priests. I am, sir, With an affectionate respect, yours, John Adams. And that concludes this letter. Thank you.